But I think there's an importance that these people, death can tell us things about our own lives and about our own society. So I think that the view from the body bag is pretty important. There are certain stories that we should tell because they give us lessons about life.
Meet Graham Hetrick, the Dauphin County coroner. He was born above a funeral home and grew up around dead bodies. He has been surrounded by death his entire life. Dr. Rob Fury is a forensic entomologist. In other words, he knows bugs. This is one unlikely duo. Graham is a staunch conservative who wears bow ties. Rob is a free thinker with Hawaiian shirts and an earring. But there is one thing this odd couple agrees upon. Someone has to speak for the dead.
We have pretty regular lunches, and when we go out, people around the city in the restaurants where we frequent are starting to call us the odd couple.
We have absolutely nothing in common. I had a criminal investigation background. I was born and raised in a funeral home, so I've been surrounded with death all my life.
I learned about my aspects of death in the rainforests of West Africa.
Well, the funeral, I was actually born above it. I couldn't even, at night, run around on the floor because we would have viewings down below. And I remember sitting and talking with my father while he was doing embalmings as a young kid.
And since I knew the insects really well, I started working with him and lab techniques so that I could work with the maggots that we collected off the crime scenes. That's how I got into forensic entomology in the first place.
What we do is we tell the story of the dead person. We want their story to be told because they can't tell it anymore.
We don't work for the DA, we work for them.
We cooperate with the DA, but sometimes that runs into some problems.
These are maggots that were collected from a body found hanging under a bridge. The rope had broken and the body had fallen down into a stream or a stream bed.
You said that.
Good Lord! It smells like shit.
Does it really smell bad?
Yes, smell it. What you could think about is a maggot is like a water balloon that's sort of crawling through its food. And the front part where it's using to push through its food is a hard shell called a capsule. And then we track the growth graph, and when the head capsule, these guys matches the head capsule of our lab-reared maggots, we know how long these maggots have been on the body. Then we can extrapolate to make an estimation of time of death. Little detectives. We can certainly say that these guys are little tattletales. How about that?
There's a difference between human decomposition and the pig, because remember Diesel, the dog that we let loose? He started to go towards the pig, but then went over to the human.
Yeah.
And these are called volatile organic compounds. And that dog was sensitive enough, and I don't think even now, even at the body farm, we don't know the subtleties of those organic compounds. We can isolate most of them. But for that dog to turn from that one to the other, it's amazing. We knew Diesel the other day on a case. Yeah. This guy was in a parking lot at the wrong place at the wrong time, or he was at the right place and somebody wanted to kill him very badly. This guy had 2 lethal shots to his body, but I would say there had to be at least 80 bullets in this car. The girlfriend was in the car, and she only suffered a superficial wound to her buttocks. And I remember I was down at the ER, and the doc is a friend of mine. I said, man, I want this girl to buy me a lottery ticket because she is the luckiest girl I've ever seen. Because when you process the car, you saw bullet holes everywhere. How she escaped it, I'll never know.
Some things in this room are just awful. They're awful. And it's not just death. It's the way that they died. It's what other people did to them to get them here. That's the awful part. It's when people don't act like human beings. That's the hard part.
You do need something. I would say that most of the people that work in this field better have faith or a very good whiskey, because you do have to escape one way or another.
As much as I enjoy the science, as much as I enjoy solving the puzzles, as much as I enjoy putting all these parts together and figuring out exactly what happened, what I really enjoy is catching the bad guys. And that's really why I would keep doing it, even though it really physically hurts to see some of the pain that these people obviously went through to get them to this place.
Well, the reason I stick with it is because there's just not that many people that can speak for the dead.